Hamster Gamer 101, and this is Streets of London Live, your Vampyr live stream, episode 3. Okay, so last night I made my first big choice concerning a pillar of the community, and it backfired horribly. Yeah, who knew? Who knew killing a nurse would have such a negative effect? Hey Faith, who knew killing a nurse would have such a negative effect on the Whitechapel district? Oh well, you know, I did what I thought was right in that moment. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, last night's stream was a long one. I'm gonna try and make this one the length of that. I started earlier, so I'll finish earlier, so I don't mind doing it. A little message that I will be... A little message that I will be starting Red Dead 2 again at the end of the week. And by starting it again, I mean actually starting it again. Yeah, but not right away and not for the first couple of chapters. Well, I can't escape it anymore. I've got to meet my terrible fate. Let's go see what it's like in Whitechapel, shall we? Just Netflix binging, really. No, actually, just stand-up stuff. I'll probably be back to Team Wolf tomorrow. What did I do? What? Thelma! I can save her. Velma! Okay, I can hear her, but I can't find her. Velma, maybe now isn't the best time. Velma, I'm coming! Hold on. Have you noticed it's in times like this that my vamp senses are really screwed for some reason? Like, I should be able to sense her. No, I can save her. I know I can. I just need to find her first. You think maybe this is one of those guilt things? Like, he's feeling guilty for plunging a district into chaos, so he thinks he hears her, but he doesn't. Where is she? Oh my god, have I found her? Hi!
Turn around, sir.
Pick on someone your own size. She's not a vamp. I did this. This was my fault. I did all of this. Oh, snow. Why am I here?
It's locked, all right.
I'm being serious here. What did I do? What do you mean nothing? Look at what I've caused. I did all of this.
I have this thirst for blood.
Innocent people. You know that everybody who watched that stream last night is going to be like, yeah, fuck this morally twisted piece of shit. And you know what? They're right. They are absolutely right. I am a morally twisted piece of shit in this game. I have done nothing but kill since I started it. But I've just had a thought. If I'm a vampire, I've got the strength, I've got the speed, I've got the reflexes. What am I carrying weapons for? You know what, this guard, the guard of Pre-Wen, let them fight me. Let them, you know what, tell everyone that a vampire is loose in London. Let them chain me up and let them drive a stake through my heart, because at least I'll be free of this. Oh, she's not a vampire, she just thinks she is. Okay, I need to save her before she gets herself hurt, or worse. Oh god, there's another one of them. Yes.
Watch yourselves! There's one of them!
Ugh! Velma!
Get a taste of this!
Velma! What have you done to my friend?
He's dead!
Ugh!
For this! That's gotta hurt!
Get out! Move!
This man stunned me with his faith. His crucifix. This is not good news.
Oh, for God's sake. I'm done explaining stuff to this guy. I'm done. I'm not being funny or anything fake, but just look at what I've done. Look at what I caused. Hey, Scowls, over here. See? Because even if Scowls are a higher level than you, for the most part you can beat them because they're weak as fuck. Which is actually... Oh good. I need to work up an appetite first. You just killed your own friend, you... That's a good thing, isn't it? This is not making me feel better. I love you too. Well, I created this evil, so I suppose the least I can do is fight some of it off, right? What will make me feel better is killing every single one of these things. Come on. Alright, I think I've punished myself.
This is despicable.
Alright, I think I've punished myself long enough. Go away, I'm not fighting you. Oh, well we are. Oh, and how nice! You've brought a couple of friends for dinner. Too bad I don't like food past its sell-by. Tourists. I know, that's really bad. You're like, you've been playing these games where people quip while they're fighting for how long, and the best you can come up with is tourists. No, please, say something, because I agree with you. That is absolutely pathetic.
Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak, but I have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu, it's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stove, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here. But it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
I admit it did occur to me. Blood seems to be the common factor in all of this.
I totally agree. We're in uncharted territory here. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but imagine the possibilities.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
All right.
I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary, I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened to us. I swear.
Consider the offer from that Cadogan fella.
I just need something to eat first. Yeah, the girl he killed right at the beginning. The girl he killed right at the beginning was his sister.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
Thank you, Dr. Reed, but you've done enough already. The rest is up to me now.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit.
If you could, just... Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes, it's true.
All right, then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reed.
You can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you then.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I was going to feed on him, but... I couldn't. Oh.
In this letter, Mortimer Goswick does nothing to hide his desire to die. I could give it to his mother, but doing so would betray his trust.
Best be on your way out. It's one of them! Oh my God! It's a leech! Steady, boys! We've got one of them here! Christ, he's dead!
You what? Say them again! Prick.
put onto these nurses. Bred with no respect.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in
Good evening, Mr.
circumstances,
Goswick.
I'm willing to give
How are you?
I'm okay.
I have retrieved your letter, Mr. Goswick. I can assure you that nobody read it but me.
Thank you. This is for you, then. For your help. And for your silence.
I think you should talk to your mother. It would be good for both of you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. I'll think about it. Now please, let me be.
I've read your letter, Mortimer. You wrote about an unbearable feeling of despair while the world crumbles around you. Tell me more about it.
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful, it's unbearable, and I don't ask anyone to understand what I feel.
The world is bleak, but maybe the pain we feel is the best compass for making it a better place.
How can we repair the world, Dr. Reed, when mankind is the biggest problem? Yes, the world will be a much better place when we're gone.
You're taking her to the vet just because she's been drooling. Alright, let's get this over with.
I don't feel the peace I was looking for. Mother, were you right all along? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Not as sorry as I am, kid. Nope, and I'm not done tonight either.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about it.
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir. And I thank you for your generous donation.
Okay, he's a piece of shit, so I'm definitely gonna eat him.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Okay, no.
How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh? Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about?
These people are dead, sir. What they possessed could be useful for the living. And I'm sure they would agree if they could speak.
You should show respect for the dead. What about their loved ones who may treasure these items you sell?
The bodies I watch over are the unwanted and undesired, sir. I would never deprive anyone of their family artifacts.
Right, okay, well I can't
Goodbye, Mr. Chadana.
eat him, but I can eat the ambulance driver. Can I eat him?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed.
You don't say. The Supreme Butcher who came back from the front. Should I feel honored?
I beg your pardon?
I don't like you, sir, and I despise hypocrisy. My name is Dr. Waverly Ackroyd, by the way, and I do not wish to see my patients murdered.
How do you think these recent events will affect the Pembroke Hospital?
I am not blind. There is something strange about you and Dr. Swansea. One day you'll have to provide answers.
Don't you think the epidemic is enough to deal with, without wasting time on insults and suspicions?
Yes, the epidemic. Convenient, isn't it? Just like the war, really. Hundreds are already dying, so who cares about one more?
Oh. I said, can I eat the ambulance driver?
We'll talk later.
I can't eat him because his mesmerising level isn't. Okay, he's 4, she's 3, he's 4.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail. I can't let that happen. I won't.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your son's case?
All my son needs is help and comprehension. Not judgment and punishment for what he may or may not have done.
I have read your son's suicide note. It was not an impulsive gesture, nor was it his first attempt.
He threatened to kill himself a few times before. But I never thought he would dare to punish me this much.
Punish you? Why?
I've known for a long time he was not happy with his life. But I always hoped he cared enough to avoid making me suffer like this.
Mortimer is extremely vague as to his motivations for committing suicide. Tell me more about what you know.
As you say, Mortimer had no reason to die. All he said to me was that he wanted to make the world a better place.
What do you think he meant by making the world a better place?
Mortimer has always been a sensitive soul. He wouldn't talk to anyone for months after his father passed. It's like he carries everyone's sadness with him.
Why did your son feel so useless when facing the world?
I think it was more that he could only see the melancholy facets of life. He couldn't help but dwell on such things.
Do you realize your son could try to kill himself again? He might succeed next time.
I think about it every minute. But I won't stop fighting for my son's future. That's how much I love him.
You're right. Your son's death was not fatal. And unlike many on their own, he is lucky to have you by his side.
I can't give up on him. I just can't. I have conceded many times in my life, but giving up on my son is something I am incapable of.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
I've read your son's medical report, Beatrice. It's not the flu or anything life-threatening. What has you so worried?
He was at death's door when he was brought here. I just want him to be better as soon as possible.
He's not out of the woods yet, you know. He might need to stay here longer than expected.
Take care of him then, Dr. Reed. People here only seem to focus on contagious patients. I worry my poor Mortimer will be neglected.
Your son wished to die, Beatrice.
Are you not all my son?
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice. considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Do you require medical attention as well, Mrs. Goswick?
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this? No, I don't feel well, actually.
Despite what you think about this place, I can tell you with absolute certainty, taking this will help you recover.
Well, at least your reputation seems well deserved. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for this hospital.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
All right.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Yes.
Dr. Reed.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, Nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Ah. Sorry, press the wrong button.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Go and eat something then. Once again, I did that Mortimer Goswick guy a favour. He was miserable.
With you at our side, Dr. Reed, I know that Pembroke will prevail and survive.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives? Pippa, my princess, flee away while you can, for all is lost.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Milton cheats patients out of their money at this hospital, Pippa. Are you his accomplice?
Yes, I am.
Is this your definition of being useful? By abusing the sick and poor?
No. It is my definition of getting out of this useless life once and for all.
Whose idea was it?
What difference does it make? We did it together, and I'm guilty as charged.
Answer my question.
It was my idea first, even though Milton would say it was his, to protect me.
Why do you do it?
Why not? Most of the sick who paid for a bed are already dead, or will be soon. Don't you see the futility of all this?
You put a price on hope. This goes against everything you swore to uphold as a nurse.
Report me then, Dr. Reed. Report the little nurse and keep on lying about the surgical errors, the wrong dosages and diagnostics that we all covered for the sake of our colleagues.
Pippa, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes, Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Life sucks when the man you love's dead, doesn't it? But it turned out that he was a piece of shit. So... Oh.